That right there, folks, is the sound of craft paper being unraveled.
Happiness.
That's Underberg for you. After a good meal to feel bright and alert, Underberg is what you need. It's the best.
And when you have them, you got to throw them up, and you got to say, let it percolate, bitches, because it takes a while to percolate out.
Give it a little clank. Get a little glass clank there. Underberg is the world's most famous bitter, and it is a fantastic digestif. If you have a big meal that you're grilling or a Thanksgiving meal, something like that, get yourself an Underberg to feel bright and alert.
Oh, or anytime during the day. Could be after breakfast, after lunch. So good.
Mm-hmm. It's the best. Get yourself some.
Welcome back to Eclipse on Tap, the podcast where we talk about eclipses of all kinds and space in general. Episode 92.
Crack it.
What are we drinking over there?
A bubbly. But it's only because I already cracked a beer. And so that beer is sitting beside my bubbly.
We pre-gamed a little bit. Everybody had one open already.
We did.
Are we going to read the description on the bubbly?
It's a mango. Mango bubbly. But episode 92 here in the month of March with a very special guest. Our guest today for episode 92 is John Ebers, fourth generation Chief Beekeeping Officer at Michigan Bee Co., a honey legend.
Savant of all things honey.
The honey man.
The honey man.
PhD in beekeeping.
I'm an apiarist.
He's an apiarist. John Ebers, welcome to the podcast.
I just got to say, any beekeeper that says that they're an apiarist is probably somebody you shouldn't listen to.
You heard it here on Eclipse on
They
Tap.
put cutters in their honey.
So, John, welcome to the show. And we're so grateful to have you on.
Thanks, guys.
We're
Awesome to have you.
This
It's
is
been a
very
long time
cool.
coming.
It's very cool, guys.
In the new studio.
in the
Yes.
new stew. And month of March. This is probably our third or fourth episode with the video. It's been a really fun start, but we're learning. I feel like every single time it gets better and better. Now we have the insanely fast internet to its full capability in David's basement studio.
You can stream us in 4K.
Yeah, you can stream us not up to 4K, but 1080p. We used to be 720p. We're making big moves, and it's been really good. So, but we're so pleased to have you on the podcast, John. Of course, very dear friend. So maybe introduce yourself and maybe the story behind Michigan Bee Co. a little bit.
Your affiliation to us clowns.
Yeah. Geez. I think I was 7 years old. You know, I would do homework with my mom. My dad would be loading up a truck with a forklift, and then I'd fall asleep on the bed of a truck, out moving bees. And I tell you guys that because I'm for a long time I totally just thought beekeeping was just what everybody did. And I never really left the bee business. I would always help my dad during peak times. And my first job ever, a very, very cool boss, but he was just hey, I'm gonna take a week off, and it was around this time of year. It was a little later for spring break, and he was like, "Are you going on some cool trip?" I was like, "No, I'm gonna go work for my dad for a week." He goes, "Oh, okay." And then he's like, "All right, well, we'll see when you get back," But it was just kind of I think even having that corporate experience, going through that, but still just always just kind of just knowing what the rhythm of the seasons are, working in the business. It was just always something that I always yearned for. And especially as I got older, especially as we started to have kids, I really kind of realized, I wanted to be in that world, and I wanted to do that type of work. So
you left corporate America.
I did.
Became a full-time beekeeper.
I became a full-time beekeeper. There was a lot that happened in between, but basically I went to my dad in 2010 and said, "I think I can sell some honey." And he looked at me and he goes, "You think you can sell all of it?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, let's start with just a couple barrels." And we really did. I started, shout out to Madcap Coffee. They were my first customer ever. and Nantucket Bakery. Those two companies, and we're still with them to this day. They buy our honey.
That's awesome.
Love Nantucket too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a bakery.
Yeah. So no, it's just been, and then there's obviously a lot in between, but we just have slowly grown and started selling honey to coffee shops, restaurants, and then of course retail stores like Meyer and Trader Joe's. Huge shout out to those guys, because I think they took us on before we were ready for that type of thing, but also believed in our products, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And from there, we've just, I guess, grown to where we're at now. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Kudos. Following your dream, not listening to whatever professor or corporate America says you should do.
Yeah. There were times I definitely regretted that. I'm not going to sit here.
I mean, yeah, there's security that comes with being a number for a corporation, but there's nothing like following your own dream.
Yeah, and it was, for me, it was, we fit a niche because we don't do anything to the honey. We really focus on where it's sourced,
Right.
and really making sure that we're not overheating it, making sure that the integrity, where it's not over filtered. And time again, people are like, "Oh my gosh, this is like the real deal. This tastes good." And every time somebody says that, I just smile. I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, it's very apparent in the taste. I would compare honey to maple syrup. Like if you get like log cabin maple syrup, it tastes a certain way. If you get pure maple syrup,
totally,
it's just a different experience altogether.
totally."
It's the real deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is the honey the bees enjoy, as it states on the side of the lovely jar. It's true. It's what they make for themselves.
Yeah.
And we get to enjoy it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so good.
But your affiliation to us goes back,
oh gosh,
12, 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that I've known, through you, right?
Yeah. And then you met these guys shortly after.
Yeah.
12, 13 years that we've been friends.
How long have you been married?
Coming up on 12 years.
We met probably
13 years ago.
13 years ago.
Yeah.
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 So, but yeah. So anyhow, John's sister and I work together.
Yes.
And actually John is responsible in part for me meeting my wife.
Yes.
Because Lindy was like, we got to find you somebody. It's like, no, we don't.
And can I just interject? My sister called me. I'd never met you.
Yeah.
And she said, "Hey, I just found somebody you're going to become very good friends with."
She said the same thing to me. She's like, you and my brother are going to be like best friends.
Yeah. She's like, "You got to meet this guy, Nathan Williams." She goes, I just know you're going to be friends. And I was like, at the time you're like, yeah, well, all right, sure.
Yeah.
And then I think within 5 minutes, I was like, it was like stepbrothers.
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Totally. Many good times over the last 12, 13 years.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so John's kind of become a part of Eclipse on Tap's team with, as we've kind of grown beyond just the podcast into the cycling team and everything. We're like, oh, it's a great opportunity. Throw John's logo on the kit, be a part of it. And he's been very gracious. He gave all of us some honey. We've been to the honey house, which coincidentally is on Wafield Trail that we all ride.
I have not been there yet, actually.
Oh, we gotta get you
gotta
there.
get over there.
Yeah.
Anytime you ride out there, let me know. Yeah.
We'll do.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a ride going out of there coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I just saw this.
Yeah. Out of the south lot of Wafield, they're going to do like a gravel road ride out of
nice.
there.
There we go.
And I thought of you immediately. I was like, oh shit, we could like go over, give a hand at the honey house or barbecue at the honey house.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Mhm.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, the barbecue at the honey house, ride the trail. It's an awesome spot, and it's an awesome product.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, man.
very good.
But there's a bigger reason that we got you on this month.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
a much bigger, broader reason. And that is that March, we're recording here on the 6th. March is, and there's a reason we all have blue on too. And a lot of our kit, our main primary kit is blue and pink. Pink being breast cancer awareness, blue being colorectal cancer awareness, and March is colorectal cancer awareness month. And so we want to have John on, talk about it a little bit, and talk about kind of his journey and why we all need to be aware of this. We're all kind of, and a lot of our audience, I feel like, is kind of in our same age group, men primarily. And let's talk a little bit about why it's important this month to bring this up.
Yeah. So 2024, I'm a dad of 2 kids. I own my own business, and I had been feeling some fatigue for a while, but I attributed that to I'm 45, or at the time.
And you're running a business.
I'm running a business. I have 2 little kids, all the stresses of life, etc. But I had taken some steps to, really, I felt like I was a healthy person before, but I was really trying to focus, keen in, hone in on my health. Lots of yoga. I stopped drinking quite a bit. Not that I drank a lot, but I was attributing if I stopped drinking, I could sleep better. So those are some of the things that I was doing kind of the 2 to 3 years prior to my diagnosis. And I want to highlight that because the fatigue factor is something that's not always talked about. There's definitely within colorectal cancer, if you have thin stools, if you have stomach cramps, there's other symptoms. But for me, when I look back, it really was fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that, again, like when I say that you guys know me, but when I say I was committing to my health, like I was like going full Jocko Willink, those couple.
You don't really half-ass things.
Like I was up at 4 a.m. and I'm not saying I did that for like a month. I did that for like 2 years.
Yeah.
I was up at 4 a.m. I was really regimented about my health and food and exercise. And in December of 23, my wife and I were out skiing in Montana, and we got done, and we had skied a lot. I'm a decent skier. And she said to me, she goes, "You're tired." I go, "Yeah, I just got to get in better shape." And she goes, "No, I think it's something else." And she goes, "You got to go get like a full physical, like a much more in-depth physical." So I did. And at that point, some stomach issues started to occur. It's kind of interesting that it kind of happened. It coincided with these visits. And thankfully, unfortunately, but thankfully, my doctor at Corewell Health said to me, she said, "I want you," and actually it was her PA. So he was saying to me, he's like, "Hey, I want you to do these tests." But he said to me, he goes, "I'm going to order up an emergency colonoscopy, just out of an abundance of caution." And at first it was like, I was like, man, I'd heard that, but I was like, man, I always heard, like, at the time in my head, it was like 50, but the age is really 45. And that's going to come down even lower. We can talk about that later, but every test that I started to do was basically like this binary, like decision chart where it started moving me more and more towards, we're going to do this emergency colonoscopy. And so within a matter of like, I think 2 or 3 weeks from getting back from that ski trip, here I am on the table getting a colonoscopy. And I was diagnosed stage 3 pretty much right there. And, from there, there's a pretty much a set regimen, what you follow in terms of your treatment. And, I go to the Mayo Clinic. The Mayo Clinic, even what I did here in Grand Rapids is what they would have done out there. But I went through 8 rounds of chemo, and then I did 28 rounds of radiation and chemo.
That's heavy.
Yeah. And for me, the chemo was the hardest part. the when I say chemo and radiation, I had a pill and radiation. I was not nearly as affected by that as I was the chemo. Like the chemo, there was towards the end, I'd go 5-6 days without eating. I just could not put food in.
Oh my
The
goodness.
crazy thing is I wanted to smell food because it was appealing. It even sounded good. But the minute I would put something into my mouth, it was like, oh, I can't do this.
Oh my goodness.
So, fortunately for me, I went out to, like I said, I went to the Mayo Clinic, and that was early on in my chemo, and I had a CT scan, and my doctor out at the Mayo Clinic, huge shout out to Dr. Shia, XIE. He said, I know you don't want to hear this, but there is a spot on your lungs. And he said, if I'm a betting man, it's cancer. He said, with that said, there's nothing that changes in terms of your treatment for right now. He said, however, I'm going to put in an order to have your biomarkers tested. And this is a huge thing in the cancer community. And for anybody I think it's like roughly 40 to 50% of people with colorectal cancer do not get their biomarkers tested. It's wild. And
do you think that's neglect on the provider's side, not requesting it, or is that patient, just not knowing that they should? I mean, the provider should know.
The providers should know.
Which brings us to our next point.
Yes. And
so,
I
get a second opinion.
Can you explain for me, what is the biomarker intended to do?
Yeah. So it's and I within the first 3 minutes of being at the Mayo Clinic, this was something that was basically like a part of the toolkit. I had never heard this term until I had stepped into the Mayo Clinic. But they do a biopsy of the actual tumor, and then they are looking for mutations. They are looking for something that is unique or that they have seen before. And there are several mutations out. There's a mutation out there. Basically, if you have it, you get immunotherapy and you are cured. Wow. You want this mutation. Like, a mutation is good. It's when they don't know what you have, that's when there's grave concern.
Yeah.
And for me, thank God I had a mutation, not the one that's instantly cured, but allowed me to get a targeted therapy. And basically what it is I'm on a drug that for right now, it seems to be holding the tumors at bay. Like, they're not spreading anymore. They're staying in my lungs. And the ones that have grown, we've been able to treat those. So it's not, you as a you want these things just to go away. I mean, that's the ultimate. But I'm in this space of, okay, they're there. I'm on a targeted therapy, which relative to, not even relative, like, there's basically, I don't feel any side effects with this. And I know I'm skipping ahead, but basically because I'm on this drug, I've been able to get back to a pretty normal life. And my health physically, mentally is probably some of the best it's ever been.
Amazing.
So,
to back up a little bit, though,
yeah.
You went through successful surgery.
Yes.
To remove.
Yeah. So I went through a 7-hour surgery to remove the tumor in my colon. And there were clear margins, but then I had a what's called a ostomy for about 4 months. So that's, not to get too graphic, but that's how you use the restroom for 4 months. It's a bag hanging off of you.
Yeah.
And it allows the rest of where the surgical spot was removed, it allows that to heal.
Right.
So that was a wild experience.
I can only imagine.
And there's so much to say about that. I guess one of the things I'm truly grateful for is I had this prep surgical nurse. So you go into pre like surgical, and they like educate you. This is like a week before. And it is the worst fucking. Oh, can I swear?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
fuck yes, you can.
It's like the worst fucking meeting, because you're like suddenly like they just give you like the worst possible outcome for this surgery in terms of how you're going to feel and being prepared for like the worst possible thing. Fast forward, I go into surgical prep. This awesome nurse, I wish I could remember her name, grabs my hand. And she's like a nurse that's been there for like 30 years.
Yeah.
She goes, as soon as you come out of being under, and you can get up, she's like, just get up. She's like, they're going to tell you like you can't, but she's like, just get up and start walking. So I come out of some pretty heavy duty fentanyl after 7 hours. And I want you to know that I was singing Bob Seger songs coming down the hallway. And my wife could hear me singing. And my wife goes, "Oh my God." Basically like, that's my husband.
He's tripping.
Yeah. And my mom and dad are in the room, and my dad looks at me, and keep in mind, I had a great high school, college experience, right? My dad looked at me, and I looked at my dad, and I was like, "Dad, head to the orchards. We're going to light the pallets on fire." And to this day, my dad comes back, and he's like, "I knew when you said that." He goes, "I knew you were just in a different stratosphere.
You're on another plane of existence."
So I tell you all this because they tell you like 70% of the people that have this surgery, they don't want to, after they come out of anesthesia, they don't want to get up. And then there's like the rest of the 30% are like, or like 29%. And then apparently, and I only learned this after, there's like this 1% that have this reaction to the anesthesia where they're like, let's party, let's go.
Wow.
And that was me. And so I'm waiting.
You went in with the right mindset.
Well, I literally, the last thing many things, I've prayed to God. I held my rosary, but I was like, in my mind, I'm like, as soon as I wake up from this, I'm getting up. Like, and I will say, like, leading up to all that, to my surgery, I was doing 3 days a week of hot yoga. I was lifting weights. I was running. Like, theoretically, I was in some great shape going into that surgery. So when my family all left, I'm there, I'm waiting for like the come down, and then all of a sudden, or not all of a sudden, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to get up. And so I beep the nurse, and great nurse. And she's like, she kind of looks at me and she goes, "Okay, get up, and you got to touch the closet." And they have 2 college kids, and they're like, I'm 6'5" for those of you that are listening to this. They're little guys, and they're like supposed to hold me up. And we had a great banter. They're good guys. So I stood up. They like spotted me, and I walked to this closet, and I touched it. And then the nurse goes, "All right, you want to walk around the hall with me?" And I go, "Yeah." And so I walked with her, and like, I remember this. She looked at me and she goes, "I want you to know I've been a nurse for like 15 years. I've been on this floor forever. I've never seen anybody get up as fast as you." And she goes, "What are you on?" And I like quipped back. I go, "What did you guys give me?" So
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's inspiring. It's I mean, I've seen a lot of things. I've not gone through a lot of things, but my wife Lindsay, going back to the breast cancer awareness, went through a double mastectomy, and that's the closest I can relate to what you went through. I mean, you're having essentially an organ removed and then going on with your life, and yeah, I mean, the fact that you were able to get up, I mean, Lynn's basically was outpatient on her surgery, which was,
That's wild.
yeah, I mean, I couldn't really believe it. I mean,
I was in the hospital for 5 days.
yeah,
And that just blows my mind that she was effectively outpatient with that type of procedure.
yeah. But yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, you're having your guts rearranged,
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
with your surgery, and then get up and walk. I mean, it's inspiring for all of us.
Yeah.
Well, and I should also add, besides the nurse, you gave me the Lance Armstrong book.
Yeah.
Early on in this, and there's a line in there where he said he refused to get into a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
And there's I forget which hospital he's at, but he's in this long
He was
tunnel.
at IU, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he should have. He said I think he should have been in a wheelchair, and he said he basically crawled down the hospital hallway.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that, and I was like, okay, that's the level of insanity we've got to bring to this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At the time I read that, I was like, well, that'll never be me. Because at the time I'm like, oh, this is still stage 3. We're going to cut this out. No big deal. But I go back to that line, and I'm like, and I'm so grateful you gave me that book, because hearing about other cancer patients and how they basically fucking this is what I'm going to fucking do. And to hear Lance Armstrong's story, I don't care what you think about the guy, hearing what he went through cancer, it's inspiring.
He's a warrior too.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah. So the mindset, it can become such a powerful tool, it seems, with regard to this journey that you've been on. And just, it's so inspiring to hear that you've brought exactly that to the table, and it's really helped you.
Big time. Big time. I think that the mind, how you look at this for me, and I'll share a couple things that I do. With my treatments now, I'm on 4 pills a day. Like I said, I rarely, I don't really even notice them. Every 3 weeks, though, I go back to the infusion center to get an infusion, which I don't even feel that. But for me to go to this infusion center is pretty traumatizing, because it's where I got chemo, and then where a lot of people that I'm around, they're in it.
Yeah.
They just got their diagnosis.
They just got diagnosis, and I'm not a doctor, but I know when they come over and the nurses read off what the medication is and the duration, and if it's 2 to 3 hours, that's some pretty potent stuff.
Yeah.
And my heart goes out to them.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. One of the things, since I'm now stage 4, this is going to be if suddenly the cancer goes away tomorrow, I'm still going to see a doctor for the next 5 years on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, that mindset aspect, I refuse to take the elevator up to the infusion center.
Yeah.
I park my truck and I walk up the ramp, and then I walk up the stairs. I will not go in the elevators. The next thing is, I don't sit down in the lobby. I go and stand right across from where the labs are, and I wait till they call my name. And then after that, I don't sit down, and I wait for them to call my name to go back to the infusion center. When I get back to the infusion center, I will not sit in the chair that's designated for the chemo, usually for the patient. It's a nice recliner.
Mm-hmm.
I sit in the chair that's normally reserved for your loved one.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me is just that's just what I'm doing. I also, with my provider, the doctor there, I do not sit down and wait for him in the patient room. And they'll shut the door, and I keep the door open. And I share that I don't know if that will resonate with other cancer patients, but not that you have to do that, but you do have to figure out what it is that you want to put in your control. And for me, like, there was a day where I was so pissed off because you step into this elevator and it has nothing to do with Corwell's design of their elevator. But everybody knows if you're going to the 3rd floor of this building, like even somebody says, what floor? Like they're offering to hit the button and you say the 3rd floor.
They look back at you.
There's almost like there's a sadness that comes over them.
Wow.
And I say sadness, that's probably like, I mean, not like they feel bad. I mean, they feel bad for you, but it's like even deeper than that. It's like suddenly it's like they're so sad about where you have to go.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was like, I don't even want that anymore. I'm gonna and then it was also a physical thing. Like, I'm gonna walk up these steps.
Yeah.
And then it got to also, like, with Lance Armstrong, I'm like, if I ever can't walk up these steps, I'm going to crawl up these steps.
Yeah.
So, and I share that with anybody that's going through cancer. You got to figure out what it is that helps you. And for me, that was like something that I guess sets the tone for my mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
gets me fired up just sitting here listening.
Yeah. Honestly, it's so powerful. It's so powerful. And it's just like, to anyone that's listening, whether they're battling cancer, something else, going through a journey of any kind with health,
or know somebody,
or they know somebody, or they don't,
we all know,
or they're
somebody.
just, maybe they're in a lucky spot where they don't have any interaction with it at all. It's so powerful to hear all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can apply that to everything.
Yeah.
And so, just cheers to you.
Well, and the way, the way the world works, right? Like, one of my aunt's neighbors out in Montana is a colorectal cancer surgeon. Lo and behold, she didn't know him well. He has since become like this mentor to me. And even towards the end, when I had to go through 2 rounds of chemo leading up to my targeted therapy, because they didn't know I would be on that yet, this guy said to me, and keep in mind, this is to a year and 2 months ago, 14 months ago. So it's a blizzard. And I talked to him and he goes, do they tell you to go home and rest after your chemo? I go, yeah. He goes, don't. And this guy's like out of New York. I don't have any, like, he's not my doctor. He's just a friend. He goes, don't. I go, can I go work out? He goes, do you have the energy to do that? I go, fuck yeah, I do. Yes. Let's do it. So I come out, and this was the first time, and it is a full-on blizzard in Michigan. So I get out, and my wife, Molly, she drops me off at home. She goes, where are you going? And I go, I'm going on a walk. And she goes,
see you in 3 hours.
Basically, she goes, do you have your phone on you? I said, yeah. She goes, all right, just take it easy. But I ended up walking 4 miles and I got home.
Wow.
And like, you're carrying, at the time, just to put it in perspective, I'm carrying a chemo pump and then I have an ostomy bag on me. And it is a blizzard and it's cold, which I love winter, but at that point, it could have been -60 and I could have had no shirt on. For me, I became like a cyborg and I was like, I'm not going to let this stop me from doing this. So,
yeah. It's inspiring. And it makes me so fucking proud to have Michigan Bee Co on our gear. And then the hoodies that we did last year. I'm to be selfish here for a minute. I'm so proud of like that we're kind of a sounding board for your story, for other people's, Lindsay, other people's stories, and that there's more to this than just talking about space and, riding bikes. That there's a bigger community, there's a bigger meaning to all of what we're doing.
Well, and I think no matter what community you're in, no matter who you are, 40% of us are going to have some type of cancer battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
and that's,
I don't know if we get into it now or we take a break, but like John's story, you were up at Merlin and it was in December, right when you were having the colonoscopy, or you were going in like in the next week for it.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple weeks, diagnosis after you had the colonoscopy, and I ended up getting mine, I think in like March or April of that year, and I had a precancerous polyp.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was 42, I think.
Right.
So I really didn't qualify, based on the parameters of what's reimbursed and everything. So I kind of had to tell a fib to my primary care physician to get the colonoscopy. Well, then it turns out I've got a precancerous polyp and I'm 3 years away from qualifying for a colonoscopy. And so for me, that's one of the big reasons or big things I want to get across during this podcast is doesn't matter, lie to your physician, get in and get screened, because again, your diagnosis before you were ever eligible for a colonoscopy, my wife, before she was ever eligible for a mammogram, both of you at an early age had a pretty devastating diagnosis.
Yeah.
And you've been able to get through it. But what happens if it's just Joe Blow in the public and you get some symptoms, but I don't qualify and I don't want to have to pay out of pocket for this, and I'll wait, I'm 41, I'll just wait till I'm 45 and get it covered. That 4-year span can be the difference.
Yeah. And a couple things there. So what I have is what's called young onset colorectal cancer, and it is the fastest growing type of cancer within colon cancer. Folks way younger than 45, younger than me, are being diagnosed. So for the longest time, it was age 45. That is getting dropped down. And then depending on your insurance, some insurances are like, they don't even care the age. Like they're like, you want to get a colonoscopy? Go for it. I think those are the Cadillac versions of insurance, but it would make sense for anybody just to check with their insurance. Maybe they have it as 35.
Yeah.
Don't let that number be something that's like, to your point, say, oh, I've always heard it's 45. I'm just going to wait. Go find out from your provider, your insurance provider, or if you need to, go to your primary care physician and you say, I am experiencing constipation, and they will get you into a colonoscopy like that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, at your guys' age is the time to start thinking about it, because, at 42, I already had a precancerous polyp. You're
37, be 38 this year.
I mean, so I was
no harm in going now.
Yeah. I was diagnosed at 43. My oncologists say it could have been starting in my body anywhere from 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think 10 years is on the, high end, but 5 years, my oncologist is like, so think about that.
Yeah.
I was 43. I could easily should have been
Your
having
guys'
a
age,
colonoscopy
37.
at 38,
Yeah.
37, 38. So,
Yeah, it's really, and those different strategies and what you've described about information coming soon, hopefully with insurances becoming more.
yeah.
It's a really good point to bring up, because there are so many people that are like, yep, 45 is the recommendation as it stands.
Sure.
So they go to the doctor, and perhaps the doctor does say like, no, that's not something that you need to worry about. Being able to advocate for yourself and do it through a way that's comfortable for you.
Yes.
Right. Like by describing a symptom that, is just going to get you to where you need to go and take control.
Yeah.
Because that can be challenging. It's an uncomfortable thing when your doctor is like, no, you're good.
And there's this, it obviously is an invasive procedure. A colonoscopy is. But I guess what I would like to convey is, had I even known, like I don't have cancer in my family. That's That's the wild. Like I have a grandmother that smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. She escaped Nazi Germany. And by the way, she died from lung cancer. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like my mom and dad, I didn't, it wasn't even something on my radar.
Yeah.
And it was such back to the fatigue thing, like obviously if you have thin stools, if you have blood in your stools, stomach issues, but if you have fatigue, which was my major one. And I want to put that out there so that if people are like, man, I'm just really tired, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm run down, they might be in great shape. That's the other interesting thing. There's a segment of the colorectal cancer patients that are like distance runners.
Oh yeah, I feel like I've read that recently.
Yeah, and it's I ran in college. I don't consider myself a runner now, but I definitely am in shape. But there's this whole segment of people that are distance runners that are coming down with colorectal cancer.
Wow,
that's interesting.
So,
and yeah, I mean, yeah, there's so many different things we can talk about here. Even with riding the bike, I've had issues with my prostate.
Sure,
I switched a saddle, and all of a sudden, 3 weeks in, I would be out on a ride, and I'd get home and have to like run in the house to use the bathroom because I just had an inflamed prostate and I couldn't control my bladder. Like, you just need to be in tune with your body and listen to, what signals it's giving you. And even again, going back to screening, even if it's not giving you a signal, just be cautious. We have one body that on this world anyway, that we get to use, and you need to take care of it. And just because you're healthy, I mean, you're one of the healthiest people I know in terms of what you eat. You don't drink, you live a very holistic life. And for this, that was a big awakening for me, is just like, well, shit, I drink a lot more than you do. And I probably don't eat as healthy as you do. And somehow it ended up that you've got cancer and I don't, but it's an awakening for me, and your experience and Lindsay's experience has been an awakening for me that it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And you have to be your own advocate for your own health. And that's something that Lindsay preaches, because much like you, fortunately for her OB, she brought up her concerns with, and her OB was like, we're going in. We're just going to knock it out, make sure that it's nothing. But if her OB didn't say that, I mean, she could have gone another 5 years. And at that point, where is she?
Totally.
You have to be your own advocate, and you have to find physicians that are willing to be advocates for you.
Mm-hmm. Not just give you the runaround and brush it off.
You got stomach issues, eat more fiber. No, like give me some peace of mind, put me at ease, let me go in for a screening, and just, I need to know that that's not what's going on here, and it's not just like a dietary, I need more fiber in my diet, or I need this or whatever. You have to advocate for yourself in order to get the preventative treatments that are necessary.
100%.
Which is kind of insane in some cases. You would think
it is.
You wouldn't necessarily have to do that, but it's kind of a crazy world out there in the medical world.
I don't know. So one of the many bright lights along this journey, though, is I'm seeing an integrative oncologist at Mayo, and we have really dove into meditation, supplements, exercise, and then food as medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those things are, this is like buzzword stuff, but where I appreciate their approach is they're starting to track me. So like my Apple Watch is tied with my Mayo Clinic, like my online database, my portal.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not tracking me in real time, but rather than like a survey when I get to the doctor's office, they can pull up my information and say, oh, this is what's been going on with John over the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Look at your sleep patterns, look at everything that's going on with
heart rate, everything. Probably.
Yeah. And so I've got this great doctor there. I call her the Oracle because she was a colon cancer oncologist, and then she's moved into this integrative space for people with colon cancer.
Wow.
And she's her name's Stacy, just a great human being. And she was like, it was so interesting because in the beginning, I didn't really know how the meeting was going to go. Like I didn't know what direction she was going to take. And she goes, I really want to focus on like 5 things. And it was heart rate variability. And she like got into, when you're in deep meditation, like you can be 80, 120 in terms of a value. So this isn't your heartbeats per minute. That was something maybe you guys know this, but like for me at first I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, this is your heart rate variability. And she goes, the calmer and more like if you're in deep sleep, like mine jumped up to like 130 during deep sleep. And that's so healthy. When it's really low, like 24, I'll look at my watch and because I'll be like, man, I'm run down. I'll look at my HRV and it's below 50.
Wow.
And again, for an Apple Watch, it's not like, as she said, we're not looking for the exact number. We're looking for
trends
a pattern. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was just a really cool thing that she brought. And then the other aspect to okay, you're eating right. Okay, well, we're going to put you on a CGI, a glucose monitor, and really make sure. And my glucose is, I'm good, but she's like, we want to see if we can lower it 10 more points because cancer does feed off glucose. And even though people are like, all right, no sugar, there's definitely people that are like, oh, I eat sugar, I was cured. I didn't eat sugar, my cancer grew, all this stuff. But there's more and more, University of Michigan just released something with the correlation with lowering your fasting glucose and the connection with how you treat yourself in terms of cancer.
Wow.
And I just like having those levers to pull. I can't tell you, like, does it make me 1% better? I don't know. Does it, does it
it's
make
not
me
going to make you 1% worse?
Exactly.
So,
Do it.
It's back to the mindset.
Yep.
Wow. That's an incredible and very powerful set of stories. We'll take a break.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, I definitely want to touch on some of the outreach things that like you're involved with or the things that you've done. I think that also has built a really strong community of other folks going through the same journey, right?
Yeah.
And perhaps we dig into that in the second half. And then also we got to talk about like what your take is on aliens and rockets and stuff.
For sure.
So we'll transition into that too. But we'll take a break. Sponsored by and presented by Underberg. The Berg Break. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Do you hear that, folks? That's the sound of bees. It's a familiar sound, and it's the sound of bees enjoying honey. And it's not the honey that you go from the store with the little teddy bear. That teddy bear is overrated. You got to get yourself some Michigan Bee Co.
Pure raw honey like David's got sitting in front of him.
You guys can't have any of my Michigan Bee Co. honey.
A live taste
I have
test
a
right here.
sample. Look at this.
Uh-oh. He's going.
He's digging in.
Both hands.
This is the pure raw honey that the bees enjoy. Just as the co-host of Eclipse on Tap, and you should as well.
So good.
Michigan Bee Co. 4th generation beekeeper John Ebers. He knows what he's doing.
Since 1922.
It's unfiltered.
It's good
It's
stuff.
raw. It's what the bees enjoy.
Get some at any local proprietor,
Yes.
Meyer, or any of your local markets.
Welcome back from the break. The Berg Break
That was a good Berg.
presented by Underberg. It was a good Berg.
That
It was
percolate.
chilled.
Thanks for chilling them, David.
I threw it in I brought some over and threw it right in.
I was fresh out. so I had to
I'm all out
message
too, actually.
Matt.
I'll swing by
Yeah,
tomorrow or
so
something.
need delivery.
Yeah, we have a. This is old news, but we do have a fridge now in the pub. We don't have a bathroom yet, but we do have a fridge. So if
It's
you got to
nice to
pee,
be
there's
able to-
a sink in the room next door.
Pub 39A is equipped.
There's an oil funnel in there you can use.
You can go out back. But yeah, no, Pub 39A is amazing. I mean, so many lovely memoirs on the walls that from over the years.
Yeah, I've slowly been unboxing and adding new things too. We one thing I didn't have that I added was my credentials for the NASA Langley journey I went on,
yes,
which I have signed by Ellen Ochoa, female astronaut that was on the space station.
Amazing.
So she's a very famous astronaut. But anyway,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Here we are in Pub 39A, the month of March, with our dear friend John Ebers. Thank you again for all those stories that you told. Very powerful stuff and inspiring, as we said. Certainly, getting back into it, maybe just to talk a little bit about some of the outreach stuff, where people can learn more. Or I know that you've got like your sweatshirt, the comeback. Is that what can you talk about the community that you've ingrained in and helped support and all the above?
Yeah. So one of the things I noticed early on, and I noticed or I was seeking out, was people that were in my position.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these great resources on Facebook. There's a group called Colon Town, which is like everything that has to deal with colorectal cancer. They have their own app now. The Colorectal Cancer Alliance has a whole Facebook page. So there's all these resources, but one of the things that like really resonated with me was stories of people that have overcome this or that are living with it. There's folks from all over the country that were like, I was given a pretty dire path by an oncologist that we don't really have to I don't really want to get into that, but
sure.
He basically told me I had 2 years to live and I'd be on chemo the rest of my life. And that was probably the darkest day of my life. It has been seared in my mind. I'm like, even as I say those words, like I'm back in the patient room. I remember the drive home, like bits and pieces of it. It plays like a little movie in my head. And that's really unfortunate. I have this buddy in Indiana who has he's similar to me, and I was talking to him on the phone, and I was telling him about this, that I had this bad interaction with an oncologist, and like all great guys, he was like, "Oh, you realize that you're not a unique snowflake?" And he goes, "You had a bad conversation with an oncologist?" And then he like literally goes, "Welcome to the NFL, motherfucker." And like, we've never met. I mean, we've talked on the phone. I know what he looks like. We're friends on Facebook. But it was one of those moments to some people, they would be like, "Oh my God, I'd be so offended." Like in that moment, I was like, "Oh, I love this dude." Like I really appreciated it because like, obviously he'd had some tough conversations over the years. So hearing that for me was like one of those, like, I guess moments where I was like, okay, I'm not the only one to ever experience that. I got to get through this. And so
it's fuel for the fire too.
Yeah, exactly. Fuel for the fire. And then, basically it's almost like a comrade in arms, a fellow soldier that's like, yeah, and I can call these guys up and be like, "Hey, here's where I'm at," and then they're like, because you can only get so much from a doctor or a nurse.
Mm.
But then until you at least for me, until you talk to like somebody else that's kind of going through it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's what they told me. This is what you got to do, or make sure you ask this question."
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as like nefarious as like the doctor that I'm working with doesn't know that, or maybe they just didn't even think to like offer that up.
Yeah.
And that's really incumbent upon me, or to be your own patient advocate, where you get these other resources, other people that have gone to like different hospitals or dealing with different medical people, and they're like, ask this question, do this, try that. So, back to like the base of your question, it's like, okay, should I be silent about what's going on with what, and for a while, like when I was first diagnosed, I was like, do you tell anybody? What do you do?
Yeah.
Like, especially for me as a owner of a business, I went to my customers, and I'll say this, every single one of my customers, and I'm going to give a shout out to Meijer, Trader Joe's, West Michigan Farm Link. West Michigan Farm Link represents a lot of the restaurants and coffee shops in Grand Rapids that we work with. But especially Meijer and Trader Joe's, really big corporations, like totally went to the mat for me. And they're like, what do you need? How can we help? And, that was in the beginning, it was like, wow, am I going to just be really vulnerable? But I was ending up in the hospital a lot at that point. Back to the Merlin, when we were up there, and like I ended up in the emergency room up there. Finally, I was like, I got to let my customers know, just so they're not like, is this dude just flaking out on us? Like, there's a real reason why you might not be able to get a hold of me. So, but through that, like hearing other people's stories, that inspired me. And one of the things, a dear friend of my, a family friend, he went through cancer, and I've never met this guy, a lung cancer, and he was cured. He's in his 80s, and I felt he was like one of the first people I ever talked to, and I said, what, like, how do I repay you? Or like, what do I like, almost like, what can I do for you? And he, again, we've never met. This is all over the phone. He goes, you're going to tell your story, and you're going to help somebody else along the way. He's like, just keep paying it forward. And I never really forgot about that. And I just hope that, it's not like this is the way, like my way, but it's like you hear what other people do, and you can take bits and pieces and apply it to your own path.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So with that, my cousin, the Will Neff, is a huge Twitch streamer.
Whoa.
Like,
shout out Will Neff.
Shout out to Will Neff. And he's like we're cousins, but he's basically like, he's my brother. Like we were very close before this. We're like even closer now. And so one of the things that we're working on is he is going to live stream a colonoscopy with the Mayo Clinic.
Wow.
In the coming months. We're working closely through the Colorectal Cancer Alliance, the Mayo Clinic, and then my cousin. And so, my cousin represents a group of younger folks, primarily men, and he wants to put this in the forefront in terms of this needs to be something that's on our horizon in terms of how we take care of our bodies. And there's a great doctor, Dr. Derek Ebner at the Mayo Clinic, who's a surgeon, but a portion of his time is dedicated to community health and spreading awareness. And this guy's great. So I just a lot of that was all done through the Colorectal Cancer Alliance. Like they did it, but they've written an article about me. We've talked, and the more and more that I've talked to them, they're like, your story is worth sharing because of the fact that I had my biomarkers tested. It is probably the reason. It is maybe the reason why I'm in the health that I am right now, because I took that step, and because I went to the Mayo Clinic and they were like, we got to get your biomarkers tested. So as much as it is about advocating for colonoscopies, it's also like, at least for how I've gone about this in my path, letting other people that are like whether they're stage 1, 2, 3, or 4, letting them know that there is this thing called biomarker testing that might change the trajectory of your care beyond chemo for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And and I'm living proof of that.
I was just going to say, look at what you're doing now. I mean, you'll send us texts all the time when you're out running the track or, doing normal healthy activities that I would expect of anyone, that's physically active like us. Yet you're stage 4.
Yeah.
Colorectal cancer. And to me, that's very inspiring, but it's also the importance of, again, second opinions, getting the biomarkers, getting all of the knowledge that you can possibly attain, and knowing how to attack it, because your quality of life is so much different than so many other people that were in your same shoes.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of people that don't have these options that I do. And, like the friend of mine that I was talking about from Indiana, he's gone through many, I think almost 100 rounds of chemo. And they're on this path to find trials. I'm very blessed to be in the position I'm in, and I want to take that, and I don't want to just suddenly like hide away and go back to my normal life. I mean, I definitely want aspects of my normal life, but I also want to share my story so that people can say, oh, if he can do that, I can do that. Similar to like, if Lance Armstrong doesn't need a wheelchair, then I sure as fuck don't need a wheelchair. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't win 7 tours, but you know what? I'm a beekeeper. I'm pretty rugged. Let's get after it.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, that's it. And that's the knowledge sharing, right? And knowledge is power. You can leverage that if you're going through something similar.
Totally.
And I think making it your own journey, of course, is going to be a natural thing. It's going to take, and there is no perfect script, but you're providing so much knowledge through these platforms, and that's an incredible opportunity with your cousin. It
really is. And it's like, for him, like I literally talked to him today, and when he was talking to the doctor at Mayo, he's like, when I heard this and I had a loved one, he's like, I just wanted to go do something. He lives in LA. I'm in Michigan. Like,
how old is Will?
He's 35.
Okay.
So even obviously, like, he's doing this, but because genetically, and then he now has a family member, he totally qualifies for a colonoscopy.
Right.
But the geographic distance, like, he's flown to our house more than normal. We talk more, but the big thing for him was, he's like, I want to be able to do something. And he said, I didn't know anything about colon cancer until my cousin was diagnosed. And now, he has a podcast. He's a Twitch streamer. They're like talking within that group, like, let's get the what's the right term? Like, take away the
stigma.
The stigma.
Yeah.
And the fear of having this done. And let's make this a part of, like, just like you would go get a physical, you get blood drawn, because I mean, 158,000 people are going to be diagnosed with that this year.
Wow.
I mean, it is the fastest growing type of cancer.
And it's not an exam that you can do, like,
Exactly.
testicular cancer. Like, you're going to notice if there's a change there.
Correct.
You're going to notice, for a female, in your breasts. Colorectal cancer, unless you're really seeing things, with your gut health, there's no way to really know until you go in and get a colonoscopy.
The gold standard.
Right.
This is per the Mayo Clinic, the number one hospital in the world. Is the colonoscopy.
Right.
It's they are developing blood tests that doesn't tell you. A blood test might say, oh, you should probably move closer towards a colonoscopy, much like I did in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have different deficiencies. But at the end of the day, getting a colon, that is the gold standard. That's how you know. And then it's like they can see, okay, can we move on? Are you fine? What is it? And then I put that out there so that people are like, okay, we need to make I don't care what age you are, you're like, all right, I need to start talking about this with my doctor like immediately.
Yeah.
Are they? You said that we're getting closer to lowering the age for that.
Yeah.
test?
So years ago it was like 50. Now it's 45. That's getting like, it's still 45, but there are insurance companies that are waiving that. You should check with your insurance company.
It's a simple procedure, people.
It really, it is.
Yeah. The worst part about it is the prep. I mean, just take a day off from work. You're going to need it.
Yeah.
And, but going in for it, it's so simple. It's a really not a bad procedure at all.
And I just want to say the first one I did unsedated because I was so, at that point, I'm like, you guys see, I'm a healthy person. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to know exactly what's going on. And the only reason I could do it unsedated is I had my brother-in-law, he had a doctor friend that has to get colonoscopies regularly, and he does them without sedation.
Mm.
And in Europe, they do them a lot without sedation. Apparently in the United States. Now, I will tell you, it is not the most comfortable thing to do, but you're able to do it. I'm simply telling people that, like, get over the fact that, like, you can be sedated or unsedated. I'm telling you, like, I did it unsedated, and it was mild discomfort.
Yeah.
When my cousin does it, it's going to be unsedated. And my cousin, I mean, obviously I'm family. He has a huge following. He is hilarious. He's probably going to have the
I'm going to tune in for this.
He's going to have the doctor rolling. You know what I mean? So
I woke up a couple times during mine.
Oh, I was completely out the next time.
I woke up at one point. I guess they're going around kind of your upper
when they make the turn.
When they made the turn, that woke me up because of the pressure.
Yeah,
but it was not bad at all.
No,
I mean, and then you wake up and it's like you had a good nap and
you hit the nail on the head. The prep is the worst part.
Totally. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the prep. I've told you this, but my doc's like, all right. So the first night, I think it was 2 tablespoons of milk magnesia. So I like, all right, getting the kids ready for bed. I'm going to take my milk magnesia. I'll start to drink later on. Take the 2 tablespoons of milk magnesia. I'm putting my daughter to bed. I was like, Mila, Dad's got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I hear her scamper into the other room, get my wife. Dad's been in there a few minutes. I came out and I didn't think I needed to drink the drink. I was like, oh my Lord. Things were moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the prep is the worst part. But I tell you what, you also come out feeling clean as a whistle.
Right. Cleaning the gut, cleaning the system out. Yeah. No, do you know timeline wise when the live stream might occur?
Yeah, it's going to be in June.
In June.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's going to be in June. And there are some other content creators that are going to jump on, and it's going to be kind of like a, that ice bucket challenge.
Yeah.
But in the sense of my cousin's going to be the first one, and if he raises a certain amount, the next creator, a friend of his, is going to do it.
Oh, very cool.
And I think there's like 4 or 5 of them that are going to do this. So yeah, we're hoping to. The Mayo Clinic has been awesome. It's obviously a very professional organization, but this is where one of the cool things I've noticed about them is, Twitch is a very much like, gaming platform.
Sure.
But this Dr. Ebner said, we want to meet people where they are.
Yeah.
Where they're getting their content, and he said, and Twitch and gaming is a place where if we can educate people, that's what we'll do.
Right.
And I just think that's really cool that they're willing to like go into this area that's like, not a CBS 60 Minutes where, maybe us, more likely our parents, are just going to see that versus like these kids are gonna be like, oh my gosh, this crazy gamer guy that's funny as all get out. Like he did a full-on live colonoscopy and he was like hilarious. And then I learned something.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, oh, by the way, I need to make this a part of my health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a part of how the world consumes information now. I mean, you could argue it might be the
changed so much.
So much.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at content like that.
Yeah.
And they're
called influencers for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can
absolutely.
influence you to do things, you know, whether it's gaming or whatever, but also your health. Like
Totally.
Get in there, get screened.
Well, and like you guys talked about this in the beginning, like your community, like he refers to, it's not his audience, he refers to them as his community. And like I'll watch him and it's just some like amazing, like how many people just like appreciate what he has to say. Like he's obviously a very entertaining, funny guy, but one of his gifts is with games. He really knows the backstory and history, and like he's almost like oh gosh, who's the guy that does the documentaries on PBS?
David Attenborough.
No, well, him too, but
for like Planet Earth,
the Civil War. He did the Civil War.
Oh, Ken Burns.
Is
that who it is?
Ken Burns.
Yeah.
Like that's what like he knows like so much about the games that he brings almost this education aspect to it. And I just know like I think I just can tell his community will appreciate what he has to say in doing this.
Yeah, like in the science community, they like for people, they call that like a science communicator, and it's kind of what this is, right?
Yeah,
someone that has the ability to communicate well to their community, and yeah, that's awesome that he's doing that.
Yeah,
it's really, I feel like that will impact a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah,
in a most positive way.
Yeah.
So, and then like when you mention influencers, anytime you see an influencer using their platform to leverage good in the world, it's an incredible thing.
Yeah,
and it really, especially in this day and age, it's like it's imperative that people like that exist. So kudos to Will. Will Neff. June,
give him a follow.
We'll maybe we can share it or something. Let us know. Give us the deets on the socials. And we can share it too. And maybe our small communities, even if one person is positively affected, right? If they hop on the stream during their lunch break and
I mean, Matt, like literally that's what my cousin said to me this afternoon. We were talking. He goes, if we just help one person, and I agree with that, but it's like hearing that, I think of you, bro. Like you're like the one person I helped because I had this, and like I hear
I wouldn't have gone in.
Exactly. And like that's where like some people are like, you talk about this or like, aren't you weird feeling vulnerable? And I'm like, well, had I not shared this, I mean, obviously I would have shared this with you, but then I'm like, there's all these other people that I don't know that this is probably helping at some point.
And there's no shame in sharing it either.
No,
like we need to get over that.
No, and even the, like there's the colonoscopy, like the shame of the colonoscopy or whatever, but then there's the shame of like cancer. And that's the part where I'm like, well, yeah, it's stage 4, but there are people that do survive. Yeah, and like as many as there are people that don't. Yeah, that's sad. And it's like very sad and it hurts. But as somebody that has this, you look for those folks that have survived or are battling it, and you're like, okay, what can I do that is similar to them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, again, going back to like sharing that book with you, Lance's first book, it's not about the bike.
Yeah.
Where he goes in, he's got a testicle that's the size of an orange.
Right.
It's gone to his lungs and his brain.
Yeah.
You're going to make it out of this. I mean, if he can make it out of that, you're going to make it out of this.
Oh yeah.
It's everyone's willingness to talk about this and to make it commonplace to like, no, that's what you do. You have to get screened. You have to go through, whatever it is, and you have to push and advocate for yourself. That to me is like my mission with this, and with Lindsay and the breast cancer. Like, you go in, get tested, and advocate for yourself, push for every test, make sure that you're okay. And for me, following your diagnosis, and I go in and get the colonoscopy, and they're like, okay, yeah, you got to come back every 2 years. Great. I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put this off.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wait 10 years and then,
Yeah.
no offense, but I'm not gonna wait 10 years and then be stage 3.
Yeah.
Because I waited.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna be on this, and I wouldn't have been on it had you not had the diagnosis you had.
Yeah, and it sets you on a regimen too, where you get to that 2-year mark and you're like, oh well, I feel good, so I'm good.
Yeah.
But no, you're like, I'm good.
Well,
I'm on a regimen.
I was telling you guys before I had my before we started recording, I had my physical in end of January, and brought it up to my physician. He calls in, he screwed up and like called it into a pediatrician or whatever. Because of everything, I called the physician that was supposed to perform the colonoscopy and said, what's up? I was in 6 weeks ago and you haven't called me to set this thing up yet. Oh, he sent it to the wrong person or whatever. Call his office and have him send it again. I'm on the phone like, you screwed up. Call me in the colonoscopy. I'm going back in.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, I'll turn 45 in May. Like this wouldn't even be on my radar for another year. Because I would go in for my physical next year when I'm 45, and they'd say, okay, it's time to do your first. And I'm like tracking down my doc and like, no, you need to order this for me right now.
Yeah.
It's like what David said too, when you said it earlier too, like the medical system is not perfect, right? Like things like this happen. So you have to be willing to ask the question or make the call. Because like, and that can be tough too. That's a stigma. Like, well, it's a pain in the, if I call my insurance, I'm going to be on the phone for it doesn't matter. Just wait on hold or whatever you need to do to make it right. That level of advocacy is necessary in today's world as well. Because it's not perfect.
Yeah. One of the things that I've discovered along this way was like when you go in for a physical, they do, they do usually a blood panel, and it's like 20 different, I think 20 different things that they're testing for.
Mm-hmm.
That is, like, I think it was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, to do like a 500 panel blood test was like $15,000. And now that's like $500. And like, there's this group called Function Health, which I think is affiliated with the Cleveland Clinic. And then I do something through Stanford called IOLO, IOLLO.com. It is $500, but you get a blood panel that is way more comprehensive. And I did that proactively. And then I met with my integrative oncologist at Mayo. And it was almost like it was a stoplight report. Like, here are all the green light things you're good on. Here are like the couple that are yellow, and then I had 2 that were like red, and like we talked about supplements for that, and actually ultimately what my doc at Mayo said was it's about your diet. She's like, there's nothing I can really, you can do supplements and maybe we do that for a little bit, but you got to change this, you got to tweak this aspect of your diet. And I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. So just doing that physical, but being aware that there are other things that give you a much broader picture of what your health is, mm-hmm. and that's coming,
Yeah.
I mean, not coming. It's out there.
It's available.
Yeah.
You just have to push for it.
You do it. I mean, my insurance didn't cover it. I paid for it out of pocket, but I was also, at this point, I'm like,
yeah.
With cancer,
I don't care what it costs.
With cancer, at some point, you're like, what's another $500?
Yeah,
all
right. Yeah, that level of like granularity too, and it's just like the body is such a fickle thing, right? And that homeostasis that keeps everything going. What a luxury to have a 500 panel blood test. You can see everything.
Yeah.
Versus the other one that's just testing like the main things, right?
Yeah.
The main.
You have high cholesterol.
Yeah, tryptophan or what? I don't even know the things, right? But the different commonalities, right? So that's cool. So you said it's
Iolo.com. And like, I'll give you an example too. Like, one of the things I had like a gut microbiome, there's a bacteria that I was low in. And so they give you, like, you go into the report and then it like explains what it is, you're low, what the ranges are. And then it gives you instantly, like within the portal, you click on the white paper or the document that they reference for, their basis for saying that you're low, or or if you are low, this is what you do. So it's like, it gives you your number, gives you the range, gives you the science that backs it, and then the third page, if you will, is how can you change it? How can you improve it? Wow. And for me, it was what is it? Ground flax. That's the like eating. Does that cure me of cancer? No. Does it make me a couple percent better for reduce and helping me that much better? I think so. And I'm happy to throw ground flax on some yogurt or oatmeal every day.
Mix it on in.
Yeah. So
it's really, really cool. And it it's $500, but nowadays it's like you can do, what's been popular, the 23andMe thing, right?
Sure.
I'm going to learn about my background and it's going to analyze my genetics. And there's some incredible stories. People have found siblings through that, right?
Yeah.
Or they find their heritage, and that's really cool. But but all the while, that's $300. I think that's my point, right?
Right.
But they're like, yeah, I'll do that for sure. I'll do that. Like, I'm going to get that as a Christmas gift for myself or for my spouse.
Yeah.
So it's in the same category, but now it's not only just telling you about your genetics, which is special, but it's telling you about like your actual body and what's happening.
Totally.
And that that's obviously more important in the grand scheme. The discovery aspects of 23andMe are, like I said, special, but yeah, just it's not like it's outrageously expensive. It's in the same vein as all of those other things.
Totally.
Getting your dog's DNA tested or whatever, $150. We did that for both of our dogs.
Right.
Yeah. Put it towards yourself.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's
I'm sure your HSA would cover it. I don't have an HSA, but if you happen to have that, I would check that and then check with your insurance. Maybe they do cover it. You never know.
Yeah, the HSA
HSA covers most.
I would think so, right?
You can buy buy sunscreen with HSA.
I was just going to say,
there you go.
I buy deodorant with HSA.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in the health section of the store today buying some stuff. Yeah. Like my facial moisturizer has sunblock in it, so it is HSA eligible.
Gotcha.
It's they've really expanded, so I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Which is even more accessible.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I mean, the way I looked at it too is I was like, all right, I'm going to get this baseline, and then it's important. I wanted to review this with my doctor at Mayo. We did not go through all 500, right? But she was like, I'm really glad you did this. If you want to do this again, like 6 months from now, the next time we meet, like 6 months from the test, I'd love to look at it again. She's like, I find some value in it. It kind of goes back to the Apple Watch. Yeah. We're not looking for like hard numbers, but we're looking for trends. Right.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah. And one of the things, just to kind of go back, like to the streaming, that's going to happen. So, like, I think like one of the things that you've said that's inspiring is just the fact that like you can, in a situation like this, you can get in this mode where, like, I think the ultimate attack that always comes is to get discouraged and to not talk about it and to keep it inside.
Sure.
And even just go down the road of like, okay, after this chemo, I'm going to go home and I am just going to lay around and I'm not going to go for my walk, or I'm not going to take the stairs. Like that's the kind of thing like that. The best way to combat it is and sometimes when you have the suffering or you have bad news like this, the easy thing to do is to kind of crawl in a hole and to fall into that discouragement. And I think the best way to combat it is what you've done. And like sharing all that information with people too, like even though you're still going through it, all the good that's coming out of that. I mean, I know we already kind of like talked about that, but I think that's like the best thing possible that that you can be doing, that we can be doing, is just talking about it. No matter what issue anyone's going through, really, it could be anything. But yeah, I just want to say, like, that's not an easy thing to do, and I think it's one of the probably the biggest reasons that you're as healthy as you are right now.
Thanks, man.
So
thanks. For me, and I haven't been. I mean, within my family, and there's like 500 people on there. I do this blog. That for me, that's been a creative outlet, like writing about, but also like keeping family informed what's going on without like, thousands of phone calls and things of that nature. But I think whatever somebody's going through, it might not be my way, but I do feel like it has to be like some creative thing, whether that's knitting, artwork, singing. Geez, I saw a guy, it's a tough thing to see, but he was going through it, and he was full on singing in the chemo during his infusion. And I've since seen that online where people sing. But the biggest thing for me was like, I've been in that hole, like I've had to climb out of that hole. But I listened to like a lot of Jocko Willink and a lot of David Goggins, and like Jocko's big on default offensive, and it was that for me was like one of those things, like it's one of those phrases that I think about. It's like, all right, I just got out of treatment. I do feel like shit. My skin's ash and gray, but I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep doing something. And the same thing, the last thing I'll add to that was, if I'm not writing, there's times I have a job where I can talk to people a lot of times, and I am constantly going through my phone and I'm talking to people. There's rarely a time where I'm like quiet. Nathan's probably experienced this, but it's like sometimes, especially when things were really stressful, I'm reaching out to my cousin Will, to my sister, to my wife, to my mom and dad, to my aunts and uncles, and just talking with them. And just as hard as that is sometimes, being vulnerable, I think when you trust those people, when you trust the people that you're being vulnerable with, then it's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, to me, that's like a no-brainer. And I just would hope that folks that are in us going through a cancer journey have that group that they can reach out to. I feel that's one of the areas where I feel very blessed.
That's one area where your cousin Will too, like what he's doing, he doesn't know all of his community personally.
Right, exactly.
But it's still a community, that he has an impact on, and that gives him feedback, and that, that is one of the blessings. I follow your page, when you talk to your family and, your friends and that kind of thing. And I get a lot out of that, but it's also like, I think, and I don't necessarily like react to your posts or like,
how come you're not liking it?
But
like and subscribe.
There has to be peace of mind in knowing that you're reaching a broader audience. And like for your cousin Will, however many followers he has, you're reaching a broader audience. People are listening, and that should be reassurance that people are behind you, and that you have support, that you're bringing awareness to a lot of people that normally wouldn't have it. And hopefully this podcast does the same, but probably to a lesser extent. But no, I just I want to thank you, because it has opened my eyes, and again, my wife opened my eyes a lot to what she went through, and how we have to be aware of, our own bodies, and being an advocate for ourselves. And then, being an advocate for people that are going through the same thing. And I think you're on a great path, great trajectory right now. And it means so much to me that you took the time to come here and talk to us about it. And forever grateful for your friendship.
Likewise, brother.
Thank you.
I've thought the group that I there's like 250 people that subscribe that are friends and family, right? And I've thought a lot about that group, and I've shared this with Molly. I said, if the cure for my cancer was on the top of Mount Everest and it only like appeared on the 5th month, on the 5th day at 5 a.m., like I have a crew that would make
we'd carry you.
That exactly. Like if I had to be on a wheelchair,
yeah,
I would have Sherpas that would carry me up there. And that's and I include you guys in that group because I just do. And through this process, finding the gratitude in cancer, those are 2 tough words to like bring together.
Yeah.
But you find like the people that really love you. And I am very blessed to say that I have a lot of people that love me. And that is medicine as well.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That is medicine.
I mean, yeah, and I'm not in no means am I like patting us on the back, whatever, but last winter when we did a spin class at Spoke, for the colorectal, what was it for?
That was for colon town.
Yeah.
Yep.
The amount of guys from our team that showed up there for that night, just because it was like, yeah, we're fucking doing this.
Yeah.
Don't know you.
No.
Kind of knew your story.
I got to know
maybe,
them.
Yeah. Kind of knew your story through us or whatever, but it was like everybody showed up. And that's, to me, that's like the energizing, that's the fuel of like the Jocko mentality of like, or the Lance mentality of like, I'm walking.
Yeah.
We're doing this and I got a fucking army behind me.
And the music is bumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're playing to win. We're not playing not to lose. Right. Like that's the Jocko Willing thing, right? Like, but you take that analogy and put it onto anything.
Yeah.
You have like, even in sports, right? You watch your favorite basketball team play and they're up 20 points at half and you're like, oh, sweet. But then they start playing not to lose.
Right.
And they all of a sudden it's the last shot and they lose on a buzzer beater. You have to play to win. And that mindset piece, all the things that you're doing, it's very powerful, as we've said. And we're very grateful to have you on to share to this community.
Can I just say on that bike ride what I weighed?
Oh, you were
thin. Very thin.
I was so I don't have a lot to give, but like from out of college, I was 215, like steady. I was 180.
Wow.
And like not like in college when I ran cross country and track for Aquinas for a little bit, and I was like 180, but a healthy 180. Like could just flat out go. But
that was before your ostomy?
No, that I had it on.
You had it on then.
And I had some chemo treatments.
Yeah.
And I could literally put my whole hand around I overlapped my thumb and middle finger around my bicep.
Wow.
And like now, I mean, it's like I'm back to normal. I'm 200, but like I'm a like way healthier version of 200 than I ever was.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but that bike ride, I remember I was like, man, I am just gaunt,
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was a great night.
it was.
Yeah.
Can't keep a good man down.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. The music was.
We had
We had
going.
incredible music.
Yeah.
Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap. Oh man.
Creed.
Yeah.
Fetty Wap is
Come on.
guy.
That was the highlight for me. Higher.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But I know you're a Fetty Wap fan.
Yes.
Just as I am.
Big time.
The man, hey, he's out of prison.
Yeah.
He's making music, baby. Fetty's back.
Yeah.
1738.
Speaking of inspiration, he's out of prison.
He is. The man is. He got wrapped up into some bad apples.
Yeah.
He was doing a little drug trafficking. You know?
Oh,
nationwide. Yeah, not great.
no.
He was in prison for like 5 years.
Across state lines.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We're across state lines, boys. But yeah. So appreciate you having here. But before we wrap, we have to talk.
Yeah, we're gonna talk
something that
alien
is a
space.
guest special tradition.
Okay.
Which is, of course, tied back into the space theme of this podcast. What is your thought on extraterrestrial life? Does it exist? If so, has it visited the planet Earth? Or does it not exist at all? Thoughts?
Oh, 100% it exists. And I think they are here. They
not just visited here.
They've been, I think, yeah. And I think maybe different groups have visited.
Multiple species of
alien. Yeah, I don't like.
Well,
I don't know.
you've got the, what do they call them? The northern. They look human. They call them the northern something.
From like different galaxies. Right?
Yeah. They look human, but they've got like a kind of a Nordic look to them.
They're long in the face.
Then you've got the grays, which are the prototypical alien with the big eyes and the small features. Yeah, there's definitely.
There's sex. Different sex of.
Is an octopus an alien?
I mean, let's be real, right? You like go down to the bottom of the ocean. All the things that exist at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah,
there are some things. Some of the jellyfish down there. That is an alien. I'm telling you.
Yes.
I mean,
and the Tic Tacs too.
And the Tic Tacs.
Okay. Do you think a Tic Tac is an alien craft, or do you think it's CIA?
Let's go round circle on this one.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, John?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
go, John.
I mean, I'm like the least knowledgeable about this, but my thinking is it is alien technology that we have at Area 51 or other places that we have like. But I feel like us seeing these Tic Tacs is like our people like controlling it now. Like, I don't think that's I think the aliens are like, man, this is like amateur hour. You guys didn't see us for like years.
Yeah, this is like the Left Behind.
Yeah,
they're gone perhaps.
And then our gaming guys in DC that are flying these are like, man, we're getting caught with these.
Yeah,
that's just my take.
And like the Navy pilots that see them right there, they're like, it's aliens, but really, that's just those Army boys.
Yeah.
What's your take, David? On the old Tic Tac.
It could go 50-50. I think there's a lot of military that have seen them that I think would be aware that it is maybe one of our craft.
Okay.
Just based on the military people who have spoken up about those specific craft. I think they were high enough up that they probably would have kind of the down low, the inside scoop on those things, but I could be wrong there. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably an alien flying that thing, just based on how fast it's going underwater. I just don't think, I mean, just going back to some of the other podcasts that we've had with some of the crafts that, what was the guy's name again?
Forever.
No, the dude from Area 51.
The guy who claims he worked there.
Bob Lazar.
So going back to some of those conversations, if he's telling the truth, it's a big if, but if he's telling the truth and we have those kinds of crafts, they're trying to reverse engineer those things according to him. And this is how long ago? The 70s. Yeah. I mean, it's possible that they have figured it out. None of the stuff that he talks about looked like a Tic Tac, but I don't know. Maybe they changed the formula.
We've got different looking airplanes.
That's true.
We got prop planes, we got jet planes, we got fighter jets,
we got flying phalluses and stuff like that too.
Yeah, we do.
Which is
thanks, Jeff Bezos.
My follow-up question was going to be, if you were given a free ticket to the flying phallus, would you take that trip to space?
Oh yeah, we got to get there too.
But we can finish up the round.
So Tic Tac for me, I'll say I truly don't know. I think that it is alien craft in some capacity, but for the sake of just what's been seen by Commander Fravor and others, it's sort of fun to think, yes, it's alien craft. Yes, it's being piloted by aliens. And they've seen some association with whales. And whales are mind-blowing. They're aliens of their own. I mean, they're mammals. They're actually not that far from humans. But their level of like self-awareness, their emotional EQ is insane. They're the smartest things that exist. And so I think maybe they're collabing on something.
Well, and didn't Star Trek, didn't they get a whale on the ship?
I don't know enough about Star Trek to know that.
I'm not a Trekkie.
Oh, dude, I feel like this is the movie ones with what's his face?
William Shatner.
Yeah, but the movie versions, they had a whale on the ship.
They know something.
In South Park, they launched a whale to the moon.
You guys,
they know something.
Wait, have the Simpsons done anything?
I don't know.
That's the ultimate. Yeah,
that's the question. But yeah, there's been some of these interesting whale associations. So anyway, Nathan, thoughts, take.
My take is that the crafts, we do have crafts that, as Lazar talked about, they are donations to us, and some of them apparently have been part of architectural findings, or archaeological, not architectural, archaeological findings. So I believe that we have them. However, I think that they have been here for a long, long time, and I think they hide in the oceans. I think they've been here for as long as humans have been here. And so, yes, they're visitors, but not like as of, whatever, 2017 when we first released them. The reason that I don't think that the ones that were released, like that were in the big New York Times article, are ours is because of the proximity they've come to fighter jets. Like if they were ours, I think we would keep them very, very far from where we're doing any kind of training with jets.
Yeah.
If we were controlling them, like that's just a hazard to us.
We'd be in the middle military. Middle of the ocean is where they'd
right. So that's why I think that some of them, they ascend from the oceans or they come down from wherever. But I believe that they've all been here for a very long time, and they've probably watched civilization and humans for a long time. We're just like an ant colony that they're monitoring.
The real question is that alien perhaps the one that was addressed by the Mexican Congress?
Oh,
no.
Yes.
The paper mache one?
Did you ever see that, John?
No, I think I know what this is. But
so there's a
it's like in a shoebox.
Sort of a Bob Lazar-esque individual in Mexico who, that's not to associate him directly to Bob Lazar, but someone who's like, trust me, I know, I've got the deets. Like, and he's sort of built a bit of a conspiracy pattern, but he gets in front of Mexican Congress and he's like, I got an alien. I got one. It's right here. It's in this like weird little thing. It was like a little silk line thing.
Now, those are a different story, because I think the Peruvian ones are much more convincing.
This is the one that was.
These are the ones that are paper mache.
Like paper mache. It looks like
I don't know those.
Oh.
The best. So he opens the case, and it's like maybe like this big. It's the size of
like a shoebox.
It's like the
size 13 shoebox.
Like what year was this about?
This is like 2 years ago.
Or 2 years
a year ago. Yeah.
I'll show you a picture. So he pulls it out. It's like the size of like a chocolate Easter bunny. We're around spring, right?
Yeah,
Easter's
literally looks like your kid made it at school out of paper mache.
And it's very paper mache. The best thing I saw was there's people, speaking of influencers, you can be an influencer of anything these days. They have an Instagram where they just make these incredible cakes, and then they do like a side by side, and they're like, "Is it cake?"
Oh yeah.
So they'll make one that looks like a banana, and it's like, that's a freaking banana. Or not, banana's bad, because even if you cut a banana, it looks like cake, but like a shoe.
Yeah.
And then they cut into the shoe. It's like, oh my gosh, it's cake. They made the alien, and it looked just like it. It was like they did the whole thing, and they even made the camera angles the same, and they just like slice into it, and it's like Rocky Road,
right,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny. But yeah, back to your question about a trip up to the edge of space.
That's the next one.
So was it Blue Origin is the flying phallus?
Yes.
So Blue Origin's got the flying phallus, and then
the New Shepard.
The New Shepard is the code name for it.
John, you could be like Katy Perry and you could go to
that's
space.
that's the
yes,
ship, right?
That's the flying
That's
pinnace.
They became astronauts.
It's the flying
Yes.
pinnace. Yes.
It goes up to the edge. It goes up into the edge of space for a moment. Maybe what is it? 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're
And-
weightless for 10 minutes.
And then it comes back down, but it doesn't. It's like an old school landing where it's on a parachute and everything like that.
But tickets paid. It's $250K, but tickets paid for. Sponsored by EOT.
Oh,
Do you get on that shuttle?
oh man. I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah.
No, doesn't appeal to you. What about like, all right, let's talk NASA now. The crew that's going to go around the moon. You got a chance
Okay.
to go do that.
Yeah, I should preface this. It has nothing to do with like if NASA was doing what I just don't trust the technology. and
I don't trust my Amazon delivery to show
yeah,
up tomorrow.
yeah, like I mean the trip around the moon with NASA,
Yeah.
absolutely. I trust that.
Okay.
If Elon is doing something, I would trust his stuff.
Yeah.
I
The
just
SpaceX stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
The,
That's where I'm at.
The amount of starships that have blown up.
Yeah, there's a
on
lot of
TV.
those.
That's true.
The one
Yeah.
thing too
I
about
don't know
the
why, but I
about-
trust Elon.
with Blue Origin, the phallus, the penis. The other thing with that too is it's like, yeah, it's incredible. You get to experience weightlessness. You are seeing certainly some level of curvature of the Earth.
Sure.
You feel like you're in space, but you're not seeing the Earth like what they see from the ISS. Even
Right.
Yeah.
you're not in, or like even Artemis with this this second launch that they're going to be doing hopefully soon to go around the moon. It's not quite the same. So I'm almost with you. I'm like, $250K, it's paid for, cool, but is it worth it? I'd rather go on. Send me a big rocket.
Yeah.
Let me see
yeah.
a little bit more. Get me to the ISS.
Okay, with this trip around the moon, how long does that take?
What is it slated
Ooh,
for?
I
8 days? Or
think
something?
it's like 10 days that what this is going to take. I think it's a 10-day trip.
And
For
why are we doing? Is it
We're getting ready to go back.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna-
2028.
we're gonna
Yeah.
go back on the moon?
Yes.
2028.
Unfortunately, it just got pushed back a year, but the Artemis kind of this will be our little space news segment for this episode 92. But Artemis 1 launched, which was out to the moon unmanned.
Yeah.
They took those incredible photos from further away than before, where you could see the moon and the Earth in the same frame. When I say there was no one on the ship. This second one is manned, so there's
Okay.
a crew going in a figure 8 fashion, just like in Apollo 8. And then the next one, Artemis 3, was intended to be the land, essentially.
Okay.
They've added one in there now. So now it's Artemis 3, 4, and then 5. 3 now will be an unmanned, or like a low orbit. I think that it will be manned, but then they're going to land the thing without anyone going down.
Yeah.
But they'll be like low orbit.
Is that?
And then 4 and 5 will be landing.
Are they putting things down there for the astronauts to use? Is it like a delivery?
I don't. I think it's just a
I don't
test.
know what the payloads
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for 3, the new 3, like the original 3 was like, we're back on the moon, baby.
Yeah.
But they've added one in now, so they've adjusted like the scope of the overall program, which is fine. I mean,
I think they've actually pumped the brakes slightly.
yeah.
If you Destin from Smarter Every Day has a great video. He actually went to go speak to like a bunch of like the scientists working on the Artemis program at NASA. And he actually gave them a bit of an earful on like some of the plans that they have for this.
Oh wow.
It's very interesting, and he basically just asked them like some basic questions. Basically, asked them basic questions, but he just asked them some general questions just from his experience. And on a couple of occasions, it was a little uncomfortable.
Oh, wow.
But I think honestly, maybe he kind of ruffled the feathers a little bit and got them to relook at some of the things because there's some concerns with like even Orion or the main orbiter and the type of orbit that they're going to go around the moon and being able to slow down the craft and get low enough for a landing and just all of that kind of stuff. He got into that and like actually I think maybe sparked a couple of questions and some people that take some action. But
Wow.
It's very interesting. It was a long video, but
Is it on his channel?
yeah,
what?
it's on his channel
Oh,
on
cool.
his YouTube. I watched like skip through some of it. but it was pretty intense. And he just basically, like, his overall message was keep it simple.
Yeah.
Just like they did and with Apollo, and then also he emphasized just how much like real simulation and real testing they should do with the lander, as opposed to just being in like a simulation in a room. Actually fly something like they had for Apollo, for practicing of the landing and all that kind of stuff, because there's just, he had some concerns with that too. It's interesting. You'll have to listen to it. Much smarter guy than I am, so you should definitely listen to Destin talk about it. But
it's what you're saying about influencers, though. Are you familiar with Destin from Smarter Every Day?
No.
So it's a YouTube channel. He's built a huge community. He is, along with there's others in that vein of influencer. Mark Rober is another name. These two individuals,
my kids are obsessed with.
They have huge
really?
communities.
Yeah.
All Mark Rober very much has helped like the STEM in like with kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Smarter Every Day is like, I would say, like an all ages audience for sure. And they both have backgrounds in astrophysics, right?
And Mark he designed what was the first rover on Mars?
Yeah, it was or Curiosity.
Curiosity.
Yeah, he was he was on that team.
Yeah.
He worked for NASA, and then and he was an engineer. And then Destin was an engineer at a rocket company in Alabama.
Your kids would love Mark Rober.
I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good
He's
content.
on Netflix, and then you can find him on YouTube too.
But but they've built these communities from nothing, and then they've been able to leave their jobs, and they've decided they want to be in this. I'm going to tell people about this industry, right?
Yeah.
And perhaps that has saved Artemis. Like
I don't know. I mean,
it could have.
I'm kind of starting to think it is, because this video he made, and when he went to go give this talk, he was actually asked to he was invited to go speak. It was like an hour and a half speech.
Wow.
But he was nice, but then also was like played the bad cop for the second half of the talk, and he just pointed out some pretty, in his eyes, after he explained everything, because you know how his videos, he'll show his video of him talking and then kind of like interject and kind of explain what he's talking about, so to dumb it down. But I don't know, I think he might have changed the path of Artemis. Who knows?
They've added another mission in, which includes a low orbit with the test of the, like what you said, real life simulation. He very well may have, and that's the power of an influencer for good, for the good of humanity. That's the way things happen now.
Yeah.
And so that's back to what your cousin's doing. It's so cool, and I think it's going to be really impactful. It's awesome.
Question: when they land on the moon, how long are they going to be on there?
For Artemis 4 and 5.
When the
people go down there.
So I actually don't know. So
I don't know
there's
either.
probably going to be, I honestly don't know, because there's going to be 4 people going as opposed to Apollo where you had 3. So I don't know if there's going to be 3 people going on the moon and then 1 person staying in the command module kind of thing. I don't know how that's going to work, honestly. And I don't know how long they'll be on there either.
I think they're still figuring that out a little bit too.
Okay. And then this might be a really dumb question, but I'm going to ask it. When they're on there, is there a telescope? Can we look at them?
There'll be some 4K video, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have 4K.
No, but from Earth, could you like have a telescope?
Oh,
I don't think we could.
That'd be difficult.
We couldn't.
Probably not. You can get like very zoomed in on the moon, where you can see craters very like in depth.
Yeah.
And you could potentially see like little like artifacts and stuff, but you wouldn't be able to see.
You wouldn't be able to see them
Granularly.
moving.
No.
Okay. All right.
But we'll have
But when the
way-
aliens come from the dark side, we'll probably see them.
yes.
Well, dude, when I'm gonna pull up my Tic Tac, I'm gonna go up to like subspace.
I'm gonna fly it out there, watch this from afar. No, it's gonna be really cool.
Oh man, that's gonna be awesome.
I don't even know where they're gonna land. I don't know if it's a new spot or if it's
Yeah,
I don't even know if they're gonna. It would be really cool if they went back to some of the old landing spots.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
been
yeah.
like, what up, bitch?
Yeah.
See Charlie.
Here's
Dean's,
the flag
family
badge.
photo
Yeah.
in the crater.
Yeah.
That would be really, really cool to have that like on 4K stream. You know, the video technology has improved so much, so it's going to be special.
They'll stream.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll actually be 4K, but I mean, it is coming
Might
from
be
the moon.
8K.
Yeah, exactly. By then, maybe. But yeah, so Artemis is in a bit of a standstill, but It was supposed to launch in late February. Then it was supposed to launch in March. Now it's absolutely not launching anytime before April. But they're doing the right thing. They're doing the right tests, and it'll get there.
Yeah.
And it's a manned launch, and it's the first one NASA's done since the last space shuttle. I mean, they've launched NASA astronauts up on Falcon 9s, which is Elon's rocket.
Gave me like goosebumps.
Yeah.
Thinking about this.
Yeah, 2011, the last space shuttle launched. That was the last time that NASA on their
Back
own
to real
rocket.
exploration.
Yeah, let's get back. We're almost there. That's the thing. NASA has experienced criticism because you have places like SpaceX and Blue Origin going up so many rungs of the ladder. They're doing all these things, and everyone's like, "Where's what is going on?"
Yeah.
And then NASA comes out and does something, and they've done something now that SpaceX and Blue Origin have not done.
Yeah.
They've sent something to the moon already. Like they executed flawlessly on that. And so that's just the style of the program, right? It's like, we're going to take a long time, but when we do something, it's going to be jumping you tenfold.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then what I read recently, I didn't know this, but we were talking a bit about it. The contract for the lunar lander, it was SpaceX. Now it's SpaceX and Blue Origin. They both have it's a selective contract, so both of them are going to
NASA,
produce
be
them.
very smart about your decision.
Jeff Bezos, or yeah, I see. I think SpaceX probably has the nod because
Hopefully it's not Boeing. That'd
Blue
be good.
Origin's, yeah, not Boeing. The New Glenn rocket is the one thing for all the phallic flyer, Katy Perry, William Shatner, goofy press that they get. Their New Glenn rocket, which is their gigantic heavy lift rocket, the same as Starship in terms of size, has been perfection.
Okay.
As like they have not experienced the same issues as Starship has. So it's very interesting with the big rockets, but you take something so intricate as a lunar lander and the process of getting to and fro the moon.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know. We'll see. But they need to do that. I'm glad they're adding that new mission in because they should do a test where they send that thing down there. Yes, people are still in close proximity, but send that baby down there without anybody in it. Like, can we...
Yeah. You have to listen to Destin. He just explains because he knows everything about the orbit that they're taking, and it's a much wider orbit or further away as far as distance is concerned. So it's actually going to take them like a few days to get down to the orbit that they need to when they're going around the moon, just to get close enough to go for the landing. So it's way different than Apollo. But he was just throwing a bunch of facts out like it was just common knowledge and a whole room of NASA scientists.
Wow.
So it was kind of badass, but I don't know, who knows? Maybe
to put it into perspective, this is another one, like we were saying with Mark Rober, another one it's definitely kid friendly. He has a video where he builds a baseball launching cannon that shoots baseballs at Mach 1.
Oh,
and then he launches it as like in succession with like 40 baseball mitts to see how far it'll go through.
I've seen the
So that's Destin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He does stuff like that too, but he's a genius. I mean, it's so cool what he's done. And
he took that Eclipse photo on the wall there.
Yeah, that one on a single piece of film. He just moved it through as the Eclipse was moving through.
Oh, that's cool.
So cool.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, super interesting stuff happening in space, and love to hear your takes, John.
I feel like when they are up there, it is going to be like a Super Bowl, like beyond the.
Oh yeah.
And this is somebody that like I have elusive, like you guys know space, but like hearing you guys talk, like I cannot wait for these guys to be on the moon to be like, oh, I'm gonna tune in for this.
Oh yeah,
like
the world will be watching.
Yeah, well, the world will be watching.
Yeah, it's like the Olympics. It's in some way it's like 9/11, where like we come together as a country. There's not the divides that we normally. There's not the
like
wars.
The day after.
It's not. Yeah, it's humanity going further and
accomplishing something.
Yeah, accomplishing something as a whole rather than being divided.
And especially the technology to visually see it in real time.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right. This is going to be totally different than the
like
60s and 70s.
Like you're on your phone. I'm going to check out what they're doing in space.
Yeah.
They'll probably be Twitch streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
They'll probably be like gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a special thing.
Man.
And I think yeah, just the progression is cool. The technology is cool. It's going to be special to see it launch soon for Artemis 2. Potential watch party down here in the pub.
Oh man.
So the data has not been announced yet. It's like we said, it's been pushed, unfortunately. But
they rolled that sucker back to the
it's in the VAB. Yeah.
That's a 4-mile hike.
Yeah.
Going like 1 mile an hour.
A real slow crawl from the pad to the storage.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, they brought it back into the shop essentially.
Yeah. Oh, that costs some money.
They're doing surgery.
Holy shit.
Because usually they'll bring it out to the pad and then they'll do like a wet launch or a wet rehearsal where they fuel it up. They like fuel the thing entirely. They check all the systems. Are there any leaks?
As if they're going to go.
Essentially, they do like a simulated countdown where they're like about to, but nothing's happening. And then if that all passes, they leave it on the pad for like a while. Like they can leave it out there for like a decent, call it maybe a week or two or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And in this case, they're like, we can't figure out what's going on. Wheel it back to the shop.
Okay.
So that was unfortunate.
Did they disclose?
It's a helium leak.
A helium leak.
And I think I read though they figured it out. I think that they're good. For what
they put a little bit of Flex Seal on it. And
Billy Mays. It's a screen door.
It'll get there. It will get there, and it's going to be an amazing thing.
That's cool.
But John, thank you so much for being here. It's been an honor to have you on, to hear your story, to be able to share that out to our community. Maybe that will get reshared by somebody and their friends, will see, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just special to have you here and to hear your story. And it's very empowering. So kudos to you.
Thanks, brother.
And you got all the EOT army behind you.
Yep.
We're
I'm
coming out of this stronger.
I'm well aware.
oh yeah.
Well aware.
No doubt. Well,
The
that
comeback is stronger than the setback.
Yep.
just like the sweatshirt says. That's right. John Ebers, the beekeeper. It's been an honor. Episode 92. Follow Eclipse on Tap on social media. We'll post, like you said, like we'll reach out and hear about your cousin's stuff. We'll link it there. Follow us and see it there. We're all over social media, wherever you find it. And then the podcasting platforms, just as a reminder, now we're video friendly. So we're on YouTube. Spotify has video, which is awesome.
Nice.
And just announced, Apple Podcasts is getting video, baby.
Oh,
It's coming soon.
Boom.
It's coming soon. I got an email about it. So very soon will be video across all platforms in terms of the main ones.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right now, Apple Podcasts still audio only, but that's fine. Audio only friendly podcast. It's not like we're showing off anything. We're just talking. So follow us there. Give us a like and a review, and we'd love to hear from you. So cheers to you, John. Thank you for being here. And cheers to all of you out there in the world.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, fellas. Thanks.